Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Today we're doing a pick a card reading, and I want you to choose the pile you feel naturally drawn to. Don't overthink it, just take a breath, look at the crystals, and notice which one seems to call your attention first. For pile 1, we have Smoky Quartz. Pile 2, we have Labradorite. And pile 3, we have Jet. These messages today came through very strongly and very specifically. So please remember, if a pile doesn't resonate with your situation, don't try to force it to fit. It simply means that message was meant for someone else, and your message may be in a different pile or even in a different video altogether. Trust your intuition as you choose. Go with the crystal or the pile your energy reaches for first. And as always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and use your own inner wisdom to guide you. I'll see you in your reading. If you chose pile 1 with the Smoky Quartz point, this is your reading. In the first position of what you're being called to walk away from, you have the stars and the blade. So the stars is a card of hope, faith, and renewal, but in this position, it would mean it was a false hope. The blade is to cut ties. It's surgical, clean, and non-negotiable. So you're being called to walk away from the illusion and the fantasy of what could have been. You put your faith in something that once felt like hope, but now Spirit is handing you the blade, the clarity to cut through illusion and free yourself. It's time to release the false promise so you can step into a real future. For some, this will be a relationship that looked healing but was toxic, a coping mechanism that felt soothing but was destructive, a pattern that you once thought was just who you are, but now you're realizing that it's your responsibility to change. Or even something as simple as a job that you thought would be a breakthrough, but turned out to be a dead end. It'll be different for all of you. Of course, apply it to your situation and don't try to force it to fit. In the second position of why you're scared to take the next step, you have the Devil in reverse and the Beloved in reverse. So the Devil reverse means the chains are already loosening and the addiction is already weakening. But it's also the fear of the empty space that letting go will create. It's withdrawal and it's the unknown. The Beloved in reverse is a fear of abandonment. It's a fear of being unlovable or of losing connection and being alone. It's the fear that healing will mean isolation. It's, if I release the attachment, I might lose the only source of love or comfort I've had. You're scared to take this step because this attachment once felt like love. It soothed you when you needed comfort. It numbed the pain when life was overwhelming. And walking away feels like abandoning something that once held you together. But the truth is you aren't losing love. You're losing the illusion of love. And that illusion keeps you small. In the third position of what your soul already knows, you have the Death card and Flow. So, for the Death card, everyone gets afraid of the Death card. It doesn't mean literal death. In case you're new to tarot, I just want you to know that. It's usually just the ending of something that actually needs to end, and it's a new beginning. It's transformation. So, your soul already knows this chapter is over. The ending has already happened on the spiritual and energetic level. You're just catching up emotionally and physically. And the Flow card says that everything will get easier the moment you stop holding on. You're safe. The transition is divinely guided. Life wants to carry you forward, so let go of the shore. Deep down, you already know this is over. You've known for a long time. What you're afraid to admit is that the moment you release this, your life will finally begin moving again. Your soul's ready. It's your fear that isn't. So another thing I'd like to point out is that we are 3 cards into a 5-position spread, and 3 out of 3 tarot cards are major arcanas, and that is not by accident. So if you're new to tarot, let me just explain. It's split in between major and minor arcanas. Major arcanas are cards like this. Minor arcanas are like the Suit of Cups, the Suit of Wands, things like that. You are much more likely to get a majority of minor arcana cards. Minor arcana cards are just little blips along life. They're nothing major they can feel a little major in the moment sometimes, but in the scheme of your whole life, they're small issues. Now, major arcana cards are just that. They're major. They're karmic closures, they're soul contracts ending, they're spiritual awakenings, destiny moments. So what you're dealing with here, it's not just a small decision, it's an entire rebirth. So moving on, in the fourth position of what will open for you when you choose yourself, you have the Six of Swords and Magic reversed. So the Six of Swords is breathing deeper, thinking clearly, sleeping better. It's getting out of survival mode. It's feeling supported by spirit. This is a guided crossing, as you can see here. She's going from the darkness to the light with the spirit guide. So Magic reversed is blocked magic returning. It means you haven't lost your spark, it's just been smothered. And choosing yourself will lift the weight. So the moment you choose yourself, the healing will begin. The transition will begin. You move out of chaos and into clarity. Your magic returns slowly at first, but it does return. The part of you that feels lost is waiting for you on the other side of this decision. In your fifth and final position of the guidance that Spirit wants you to move forward with now, you have the Wheel in reverse and the Coyote. The Wheel in reverse is delaying, hesitating, and clinging to a fantasy. You're not stuck because life is against you. You're stuck because you won't turn the wheel. The Coyote is trickster energy. It's unexpected teachers, truth through chaos, forced growth through uncomfortable events. The Coyote says, if you don't move, I will move you. Not to punish you, but to guide you where you're meant to be. So Spirit is telling you the timing will never feel perfect because it's not meant to. You're not supposed to wait for the universe to move. You're supposed to move with it. The illusions, the setbacks, the confusion, none of it was punishment. It was a lesson. It was the Coyote showing you where you've been giving your power away. Now it's time to choose a new direction. Not when it feels comfortable, but when it feels true. The wheel turns the moment you stop resisting it. If you chose pile 2 of the Labradorite, this is your reading. In the first position of what you're being called to walk away from, you have the 5 of Chalices and the Luminous Warrior in reverse. So you're being called to walk away from the weight of other people's expectations. You've been carrying guilt that was never yours and living a story someone else wrote for you. Because the 5 of Chalices is about emotional obligation, guilt, internalized pressure, feeling responsible for other people's happiness or approval. And the Luminous Warrior in reverse is dimming your inner fire to keep the peace, fear of shining in a way that breaks tradition, hiding your true self. It's pressure to fulfill a family role. It's giving up your identity to keep the tribe happy. So this could look like maybe everyone in your family is a lawyer, so they just expect you to go to college for being a lawyer, and that's that. There's no question about it. It could also be, it could be a good thing or a bad thing in society's view. It could be something like at least 2 or 3 people in every generation are alcoholics, and so it's just normal to drink all the time in your family. It could be anything. It's going to look different for every single one of you, and depending on your situation, but you're being called to walk away from that. The sorrow you feel isn't about your own choices. It's about the pressure to be who others want you to be. And the Luminous Warrior reversed tells me that you've dimmed yourself. You've hidden your true passions, and you're staying quiet to keep the peace. Spirit is saying it's time to lay down that burden now. You do not have to live in sadness to make others comfortable. So in position 2, why you're scared to take the next step, you have the 10 of Wands in reverse and water in reverse. So you're scared to take the next step because you've been carrying other people's expectations for so long that the idea of putting them down feels almost wrong. The 10 of Wands reversed is telling me that you've been conditioned to shoulder burdens that should have never been yours. And with water reversed, there's a fear of emotional fallout, a fear of confrontation, a fear of disappointing others or of being misunderstood. You've been taught to keep your feelings quiet to keep the peace, but your soul is ready for emotional honesty, even if the people around you aren't. So in the third position of what your soul already knows, you have the High Priestess in reverse and lightning. So deep down, your soul already knows the truth. The High Priestess reversed tells me you've been silencing your inner voice and pushing aside what you truly want because you're afraid of disappointing others. But lightning says the truth has already struck you. There's been a moment, a flash of clarity, where you realized you can't keep living this way. You can't unknow what you now know. Your soul is awake, even if your brain's still catching up. Now in the fourth position of what opens for you when you choose yourself, you have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse and the Spiral. So when you choose yourself, you are breaking a generational pattern. The Ten of Pentacles reversed shows that your freedom comes from stepping away from the expectations and traditions that were placed on you. And with the Spiral, your life begins to unfold in ways you've never experienced before. This is your destiny awakening and your true calling, your soul path. It's evolution. You're not just choosing a different career or lifestyle. You're choosing a whole different life, one that expands instead of confines. The guidance that Spirit wants you to move with right now is Temperance in reverse and the Mystical Shaman. So Spirit is asking you to stop tempering yourself to fit into a life that was never meant for you. Temperance reverse tells me you've been pouring out parts of yourself, trying to make things blend, trying to keep everyone else at peace while losing your own peace. The Mystical Shaman says your path is sacred and unique. You were not born to repeat the patterns of your family. You weren't born to fit in. You came here to walk your own path, to break cycles, and to answer the call of your soul. Your guidance is to stop shrinking and start stepping into who you truly are. If you chose pile 3 with Jet, this is your reading. In the first position of what you're being called to walk away from, you have the Three of Wands and the Holy Mountain in reverse. So the first thing I'm being shown is that you've already started moving towards something that isn't sitting right in your soul. The Three of Wands tells me that there's a plan, an action, or an idea that's already in motion, something you've begun preparing for, something that feels like it's supposed to be the next step. But the Holy Mountain in reverse is extremely clear. This is not your path. This action is not aligned with who you truly are. Deep down, you already know that. You felt the hesitation, the fear, the internal pullback. And that's not weakness, that's your conscience trying to protect you. So Spirit is asking you to walk away from this plan, even if it feels like you've already committed to it. Even if others are involved, even if backing out causes tension. This path leads you down the mountain, not up it. You're being guided away from something that may look tempting in the moment, but it does not have Spirit's blessing, and you can choose differently. So in position 2 of why you're scared to take this next step, which in this case would mean not taking the action you're planning on, you have the Knave of Swords and the Smoky Mirror. So you're scared to quit taking these steps because your mind is running 100 miles an hour. The Page of Swords shows a lot of anxious thinking, a lot of what ifs, and a lot of outside voices influencing your thoughts. It feels like you're trying to make a decision in the middle of noise, pressure, and adrenaline. And with the Smoky Mirror, Spirit is saying that things are not as clear as they seem. There's confusion here, illusions, mixed messages, maybe even people around you who aren't being fully honest. When your mind is this clouded, it's hard to trust your own instincts. This fear isn't weakness, it's your intuition trying to cut through the noise and show you the truth beneath the confusion. So in the third position of what your soul already knows, you have the Seven of Swords and the Owl in reverse. So your soul already knows the truth about this situation. The Seven of Swords tells me that you're aware that something about this plan is dishonest or risky, and deep down you've felt that it crosses a line. Even if you haven't said it out loud, you have sensed the hidden motives, the secrecy, the shady energy around it. And with the owl in reverse, Spirit is saying you've been ignoring your own wisdom. You've had gut feelings, warning signs, little moments of clarity, but you keep pushing them aside because of pressure or maybe loyalty to the other people involved. So your inner guidance already knows this isn't right, and it's been trying to get your attention. Now, in the fourth position of what opens for you when you choose yourself, you have the Four of Wands in reverse and the Rainmaker in reverse. So when you choose yourself, the very first thing that opens up is freedom from unstable or unhealthy connections. The Four of Wands reversed shows you stepping out of environments where you've had to pretend to be okay with things that you aren't okay with, or pretend to fit into a group that doesn't actually support you. And with the Rainmaker reversed, Spirit says that choosing yourself clears the stagnant energy around you. It stops the outside interference, the peer pressure, the chaos. It opens space for the real blessings, the ones meant for you, to finally have room to arrive. Choosing yourself will remove you from a shaky foundation so you can start building something stable. In your final position of the guidance that Spirit wants you to move with now, you have the Three of Swords and the Corn. So Spirit wants you to know that choosing the right path, it might hurt at first. The Three of Swords shows a moment of heartbreak, the disappointment of letting people down, the grief of stepping away, the pain of seeing truth clearly. This isn't an easy decision, and Spirit is acknowledging that. But the Corn comes in to show you the bigger picture. This is a card of harvest, of blessings, of abundance, coming directly from a choice rooted in integrity. By doing what is right, not what is easy, you plant a seed that will grow into something incredibly rewarding. Yes, there may be pain in the moment, but what comes after is richer and fuller than anything this situation could ever offer you.